Alright, so right here we have a 1990 Mazda Miata 5-speed manual transmission, and we're going to take a tour of the engine. So over here, starting on the left, we have the coolant tank. This is used to house the radiator fluid. This radiator fluid helps cool the engine, because during the combustion reaction, the engine gets quite hot. There's the engine right there. And back 30 plus years ago, they used to use air-cooled engines, but the liquid radiator fluid cooled engine is much more efficient. That's why they switched over those. And then right here, the power steering capsule. This is used to help the drivers turn the car and greatly reduces the amount of pressure that is necessary on the wheel to turn the car. Then over here we have the washer fluid, and this is the washer fluid. This is basically used for the windshield. Just get a look at the windshield right there. The windshield is used to wipe. The driver presses the button on the dash, and the washer fluid comes up. The windshield is wiped on it, and it removes anything from the windshield. And over here we have the oil filler cap. That's right there. The oil filler cap is used to, you open it up and then you put the oil into the engine. It helps keep it run nice and smooth, lubricated. That's good. Now over here we have the dipstick, and this is used to check your oil. Check your oil filter. Now the oil filter, what the oil filter does is it makes sure that your oil is not contaminated or doesn't have any contaminants in it. The oil filler is used to fill up the oil in the engine. Oil filter is used to basically, it filters your oil and makes sure it's nice and pure. Now we go over to the fuel injection pump. Now the fuel injection pump, that's where the water and the the gas and the air are mixed. And now you see 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 tubes going into the engine. That's because it's a 4. This is an I4, which means an inline 4-cylinder engine. And you have each tube leading to a piston. And then, so when the the air and gas mixture goes into the piston, eventually it will get a spark from the spark plug, and that will initiate the reaction, forcing the piston upward, and this will then drive the crankshaft, and that will translate the linear motion of driving the piston upward into the rotational motion of rotating the crankshaft and thus rotating the axles and driving the car forward. And over here, let's get a quick look at a 2012 Hyundai Elantra engine. As you can see, it's much more covered up. The engine over here is completely covered up. And a good point here. This is the battery of the car. The reason we didn't see the battery over in the Mazda is because the battery is actually the trunk, because the engine bay is, the area for the engine is so small. This is the battery, and the alternator is used when the engine is running to charge the battery. So there's a look at the Hyundai Elantra engine. Looks much more modern. As going back to the Mazda Miata engine, much more old-fashioned. This engine is over 20 years old.